I mean, this is not a great phase for Brazilian football to be in at this occasion right now. Who wants that job? It's not as attractive as it once was.
Let's just get a little bit of an update on Carlo Ancelotti's potential move from Real Madrid to be the head coach of the Brazil national team. That's been the rumour that's been around for quite some time. But it looks like that Real Madrid might be potentially blocking that move and stopping Carlo Ancelotti from taking the job as the Brazil national head team coach. And it looks like Brazil are turning their attentions away from Carlo Ancelotti to Jorge Jesus. So, I mean, that's something that's come out in the last few hours, because it looked like for a while, didn't it? We talked about it on the show that Carlo Ancelotti was going to leave Real Madrid at the end of the season and take that Brazil national team job.
Very interesting turn of events as well, might I add as well. Jorge Jesus, obviously manager in that match that we just watched right there, and certainly an interesting figure when it comes to taking over the national team. I mean, this is very disappointing, and I know that the Brazilian Federation are clearly upset by this, and we're talking about, yeah, clear disgruntlement with the way that Real Madrid have handled the situation. But I'll also add that Ancelotti is a legend at Real Madrid, and what he's done at Real Madrid, you have to be very careful with how you handle with that club and with that manager in particular. I always found it strange that he would want to leave before the end of the season, especially with Brazil wanting to make a move quicker than the season end was going to happen. So I couldn't quite figure out why that would take place. So for me, Ancelotti, he's done everything in the game and he deserves to make the decision himself. If he wants to take that Brazilian job, he probably would have gone and taken it. My only personal opinion can be that he probably doesn't want this job anymore. It's a very difficult job. Taking over Brazil right now, in the phase that they're in right now, and obviously World Cup's right around the corner, but they got absolutely humiliated by Argentina most recently. Qualification's been very difficult for them through the World Cup, even though they're going to get there. I just think it's a very difficult group of players to be able to have success with. So I'm wondering if Ancelotti's looking at this group of Brazil players, and I know it would be an amazing thing to have on his resume to be manager of Brazil. It would be fabulous, and it would be something that most people would dream about. But you've also got to try and have some sort of consideration for the fact that this guy has only ever gone to clubs that he could win with, except for Everton, in my opinion. He's been at clubs where he has the opportunity to win trophies. So I don't know. This is a strange one for me. I can't quite put my finger on it. And to break right now, especially with the Champions League just being taken,
and that's what
very weird.
That's what that story is saying. Effectively, in the last few minutes, it's broken that they are moving on from this man Carlo Ancelotti and looking now at Jorge Jesus as the next boss of the Brazil national team. And do you think potentially this strengthens the feeling that Carlo might stay at Real Madrid?
I mean, you've got to replace a Carlo Ancelotti. How do you replace him? And we've had this discussion so many times. It is obviously an institution that's built on success and winning trophies. And if you don't, and many people will come at me on this, and I've seen it so many times on social media, yeah, but they've already won trophies this year. No, I'm talking about major trophies. You have to have success at that football club to have pressure off your shoulders. This guy, I understand, has obviously been rumoured to be going to Brazil before. And from my understanding, he's turned that opportunity down previously. So they've come back once again, and it looked like the timing was going to be right, that Real Madrid were going to make a change. So the only thing I can put into consideration is that Real Madrid say, we don't want you to leave. We want you to stay. We want you to build this project.
Well, that's what the report is saying, is that Real Madrid have effectively said, no, that's not happening. They're blocking it.
Yeah, and if they're blocking it, that means they're getting behind Ancelotti, and they're going to give him an opportunity to obviously influence the squad in many ways with transfers, bring better players into the football club. They've already got a great squad of players, but he's going to have success next season. Adam, you can't just expect him to stay at the football club and not have success next season and turn this Brazilian job down.
Just really quickly on the flip side, for Brazil fans who've obviously suffered the disappointment of Dorival Júnior, how do you think they're feeling? I mean, they thought they were getting Carlo Ancelotti, and now they're not. Isn't he what they want? They want a tactician, someone who can work with the players.
It's a very difficult position. I go back to it. I've watched a number of the Brazil World Cup qualifying games, and they don't entertain me. In many ways, they're boring to watch. You have a lot of big egos on that Brazilian squad. And Rafinha, we've obviously seen his most recent reaction in a Barcelona jersey. I'm sure it's, at times is difficult to handle, but does have talent, absolutely. Vinny Jr., sometimes difficult to handle, but clearly has world-class talent. They don't necessarily have a recognised, fluent goal scorer. They are vulnerable defensively, most recently proven in the game against Argentina and also through the qualification process. And you're still dealing with a mess that is Neymar. I mean, this is not a great phase for Brazilian football to be in at this occasion right now. Who wants that job? It's not as attractive as it once was. Brazilian football at one point was joy and entertainment and success. Now there's no success, and the quality level, whether you like it or not, is dwindling away. The players are not as good as they once were in Brazil. I mean, you've got Joe Linton playing in the middle. No offence to him.
Hang on a minute.
No offence to
Calm
Newcastle
down.
fans, but you've got Joe Linton playing in midfield for Brazil. I mean, to me, it's just the level of player is just not there to excite someone like Ancelotti. You have to sell him the project. You can, in many ways, you'll get people in the door because it's Brazil. The history, football, culture, people, religion. Brazil has got a lot to offer. But if you don't have the tools to have success, how on earth do you expect to be able to entice someone like Ancelotti to take over it?
I certainly think there's a lot of Brazil fans who will be looking at that news and thinking, oh no. They were hoping for Carlo Ancelotti to take the job, someone to work with those players, potentially work with some of the egos. You mentioned Neymar,
Yep.
all of the other things that this team really needs. It needs a man manager, someone who can obviously get them right tactically and get them performing on the pitch, but also to deal with some of the issues that you've got on the pitch and in the dressing room. And I think Carlo Ancelotti would have been a good appointment.
It would have been a fantastic appointment, but that's where the confusion comes in. He doesn't want the job. I mean, let's be honest with you. He's the one who's making this decision, I would say, not Real Madrid. Real Madrid might be offering him a nice wage packet to stay, but disappointing times for Brazilian fans.
Absolutely. We'll keep you right up to date on this story as it develops over the next couple of days.